On last night's show, I had a really good time talking with former Arizona Congressman J.D. Hayworth, who is challenging John McCain in the Republican Senate primary in Arizona. It is hard to get Republicans to agree to come on this show, so I was really happy, the whole staff was really happy that he was here, even after he took a shot at said Rachel Maddow show's staff.
Rachel, your researchers should have done a better job.
Now, we take that kind of allegation seriously. Mr. Hayworth, in fact, alleged a number of times last night that we got stuff wrong in our research. Here was the first time. You were ousted by a Democrat in 2006, and by that point, people who knew nothing about Arizona politics knew you for being one of Congress's top recipients, if not the top recipient, of money from Jack Abramoff.
Well, first of all, Rachel, your information's incorrect.
Actually, my information was correct. Mr. Hayworth argued that on one list, he wasn't listed first or third in terms of Abramoff money. He was listed ninth. This is his defense. I was only the ninth biggest recipient of funds related to the corrupt lobbyist in prison.
If you really go back and take a look at the numbers, I ranked ninth in overall contributions from those who might even have a tangential affiliation to Mr. Abramoff. In fact, some other groups rated higher.
Groups. When he says groups, that's the giveaway. Mr. Hayworth is ninth on a list that he found of everyone, including campaign committees and groups who got Abramoff money. I had only asked Mr. Hayworth about being a top Abramoff money recipient among members of Congress. He was, in fact, a top recipient of Abramoff-related money among members in Congress. I was right. I did not have my facts wrong. When, in terms of your receiving money from Abramoff, your chief of staff in 2005 admitted that it was over $150,000 of money linked to Abramoff. The Washington Post listed you third. The Center for Responsive Politics listed you first. Others have listed you second.
Rachel, your researchers should have done a better job, for had they checked, they would have seen corrections from the New York Times.
Actually, my researchers did a great job, and I am one of my researchers. That New York Times correction does not make Mr. Hayworth's case better. It actually makes it worse. You see here, the congressman received $101,000 that was donated by Mr. Abramoff and his family, Indian tribes, and a gambling cruise ship line that he once owned. It did not include donations from Mr. Abramoff's lobbying partners or other associates. So in other words, what the correction says is that while Mr. Hayworth took a ton of Jack Abramoff-related money, they couldn't promise that they've counted all of it. Take me on all you want, Congressman, but my researchers do and did a great job. They were right. Anthony, Tricia, you guys were right. And nothing provably true in print anywhere on earth mitigates how up to your eyeballs you, Congressman, were in Abramoff's line when you were in Congress, which is in part why you lost your job in Congress a few years ago. I also asked Mr. Hayworth about the comments that he made to an Orlando radio station on Sunday about gay marriage.
You see, the Massachusetts Supreme Court, when it started this move toward same-sex marriage, actually defined marriage. Now, get this. It defined marriage as simply, quote, the establishment of intimacy. Now, how dangerous is that? I mean, I don't mean to be absurd about it, but I guess I can make a point of absurdity with an absurd point. I guess that would mean if you really had affection for your horse, I guess you could marry your horse.
Try as we might, neither my mayor nor I could find this establishment of intimacy phrase anywhere in the ruling, which I brought up with Mr. Hayworth while I still had him here. What you said about the establishment of intimacy being the definition of marriage in Massachusetts, I don't think it's true, sir.
Well, that's fine. You and I can have a disagreement about that.
Well, it either is true or it isn't. It's empirical.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Well, I appreciate the fact that we have a disagreement on that.
We don't, in fact, have a disagreement on that. Mr. Hayworth is actually just wrong. What he says is in the Massachusetts court ruling is not there. It's not something to agree on or disagree on. It's something to look up. I looked it up again. He's wrong. The ruling doesn't define marriage as the establishment of intimacy. It just doesn't. So them's the facts. What Mr. Hayworth said, I got wrong. And weirdly, what he said the staff on this show got wrong, we didn't get wrong. I am still thankful that he agreed to be on this show. I am honestly not sure, though, if there will be a round 2.